It's been a month since the Fed began to roll back their monetary policies that they put in place to combat inflation and cut their benchmark rate by 0.5%. And now the big question is, what sort of impact is that having on the housing market? Well, that's exactly what we're going to get into in this video. We will look at how mortgage rates have responded since the Fed made its cut, what home prices have been doing in the San Diego housing market, how buyer demand and home inventory, i.e. supply, has been affected and are affecting the San Diego housing market, what I'm seeing on the ground level being out in the market every single day, and what all of that means to you if you're thinking about buying or selling a home in the San Diego area. I'm JR St. Julien with the St. Julien Real Estate Group of eXp Realty, and welcome to my San Diego housing market update for October 2024. Let's get to it. Okay, let's get started with mortgage rates. Mortgage rates are literally driving the show right now. This is the primary factor that is making the most impact on every aspect of the real estate market right now. And after the Federal Reserve cut its benchmark rate by 0.5% in September, the initial response we saw was a drop in mortgage rates. We saw 30-year fixed mortgage rates dip to an annual low of about 6.2% at the end of September, which created plenty of optimism and was exactly what home buyers wanted to see. This was down from a peak of 7.75% in November of 2023 and 7.25% in May of this year. So the move was very promising and is exactly what many had been waiting for. But since then, mortgage rates have reversed course. Each week of October, rates have gone up slightly, and now they're hovering around 6.7%. Now, this uptick happened after stronger than expected September jobs data was released that made more rate cuts from the Fed this year not so certain. And as a result, the 10-year Treasury yield has gone up and mortgage rates have followed suit. So now let's look at how this has affected home prices. The median sales price is what we use to measure what home prices are doing overall. And the median sales price in San Diego County for September of 2024 rose slightly to $895,000, which was up $5,000 from August and 3.5% higher than the same time last year. So based on this data, you can see that prices in San Diego are definitely being resilient. But I'm sure you've heard how the market has shifted. Even I have said that was the case in previous market updates. But if you've followed me and been watching my market updates, you will know that I believe the shift that we have been seeing has been a momentary opportunity for those that are looking to buy a home in San Diego. And the data is now starting to reflect exactly that. This is the first time that the median sales price has increased since June of this year. Since June, the median home price has been on a steady decline, which of course followed the peak in interest rates that we saw in May. And as I mentioned earlier, interest rates driving a bus. So the recent drop in interest rates has now started to slow the decline in home prices that we've seen since June, causing them to plateau in the month of September. Now, with the Fed being positioned to continue to unwind their tightening of monetary policy, I do expect rates to continue to decline, increase in demand, and as that demand overtakes the current inventory levels, you will start to see that drive the prices up. So now let's get into some of the specifics of the supply and demand balance and how that has been affected since the recent rate cut. Buyer demand has definitely picked up in response to the dip in mortgage rates that we saw in September, but it has started to slow just a little bit slightly with the recent rate increases that we've seen in October. Now on the supply side, we've seen a continued steady state, slow but consistent increase in inventory. That's been happening since the beginning of the year and nothing has changed with that. Now as of September of 2024, there are 4,846 homes for sale in San Diego County, which is up 155 homes from August and 48.7% higher than the same time last year. So this is a pretty significant increase in inventory. And this increase in inventory has pushed the months of supply up to 2.6 months, which has been a gradual climb from the 1.4 months that we saw back in January. Now, more homes are on the market right now, and supply continues to steadily rise. Therefore, it's clear that supply is continuing to outweigh the demand, giving buyers more options and greatly reducing the competitions for the homes that are on the market. But we are starting to see signs that demand is increasing. Pending sales, which are the number of homes that are under contract to be purchased, are now up 13.7% year over year. Pending sales are a leading indicator of demand activity, and we are now starting to see that increase. So what does all this mean if you're thinking about buying a home? This market is presenting you with both opportunities and some challenges. Mortgage rates are still relatively high compared to where they've been over the last 10 years. We're definitely not near the peaks that we've seen, but for those with 2.5% or 3% interest rates on their current home, a 6.7% rate is going to seem pretty high. But if you look back over the last 40 years, the current rates are still below the average, just to give you some perspective. Now, I don't see rates returning to 3% anytime soon, but they will come down, and as they do, demand will go up. So if you've been waiting for more options with less buyer competition, now's the time. You actually have the ability to negotiate as a buyer with much more leverage than buyers have had in many years in San Diego. Typically, San Diego is a seller's market where buyers have no leverage because there's multiple buyers standing in line to buy that same home. We aren't seeing that right now. So I believe that this is an opportunity, and an opportunity that is momentary and will likely start to dissipate as the new year rolls around, bringing in the standard cyclical demand back into the market alongside lower interest rates that is most likely to come out of what the Fed is doing. So if you're thinking about buying a home and are capable of doing so now is a great opportunity to act and take advantage of the opportunities that are there. Now, if you're a seller, unfortunately for the home sellers, the game has changed. With the inventory on the rise, it's important to have a competitive pricing strategy and ensure your home is in top condition to stand out. We're no longer in the time where you could just list the property at a premium and expect multiple offers within days. That's just not the market that we're in right now. As I mentioned previously, we have moved out of the seller's market, and while I won't say that we're in a full-on buyer's market, we're definitely in a neutral market where the sellers just don't have all the power anymore. But that being said, San Diego home prices still remain strong, and homes are still selling, especially if they're positioned well. So if you're in a hurry to sell, you just want to make sure you consider in the current market, considering offering incentives or adjusting your price to attract buyers who may be cautious due to the current interest rate environment. But if you're not in a rush, it might be worth waiting until the new year when we will likely see demand pick up again and interest rates a little bit lower. Okay, so we've covered a lot of info, and if you made it this far, I appreciate you taking the time to watch. Please go ahead and subscribe so that you get all of my future market updates as well as other videos that I put out that have valuable insights into the San Diego housing market. And if you have any questions about anything I discuss in this video or want to talk about your specific real estate goals, whether you're thinking about buying or selling a home or just have general questions in general, I'd love to chat with you. Feel free to reach out by phone or schedule a time on my calendar using a link in the description below. I'm J.R. St. Julien with the St. Julien Real Estate Group with VXP Realty, and thank you for watching my San Diego housing market update for October 2024. Take care.